Hello and welcome to A New Thing Live. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that you're here. We have such an exciting evening planned for you today. My name is Cyndi Galley and I'm the host of this. I still call it a new show. Is it a new show? Would you call it a new show? Okay, it's still a new show. A toddler for sure, but we're so glad that you're with us. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, maybe you're watching us on Roku, whether you're joining us live or you are on demand, we're just so glad that you're here. Thank you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. So for those of you that know our show, we are an interactive show. So we want you to hang out with us. Like, let us know what's going on. Tell us where you're watching from. Just chat, interact with the other audience. We have so much fun just reading all of the different comments that come through. And we love seeing where all of y'all are watching us from. So just jump on, get on there. Now, if you're on your smart TV, we know you cannot do that. But be sure to subscribe if you have not yet. Subscribe to us so that you're always in the know of when A New Thing Live is live. Okay, so some things are changing up. As you can see, a little bit of a difference here. And we're transitioning. You know, we're all about the new thing. We're all about telling you about the new thing. In fact, you are the reason why we do what we do. Every one of us has a new thing that we're supposed to do. It's like right in front of us. And sometimes we're too afraid. We get paralyzed with fear or maybe rejection, whatever the whole reason that you're just kind of like refraining and resisting that. But we say, no, you can do it. So we're all about the new thing as well. So we've got some change coming on, continued change on our show, but we are excited. We love doing the new thing. And we love that you do the new thing. The Lord says in Isaiah 43, behold, I will do a new thing. He wants to do it, but we have to let him and give him the atmosphere and provide the environment for him to do it. So just wanted to give that to you as well. Now, listen, today's the 18th of April. Can you believe it? I mean, we are already past the halfway mark of April, Sonia. That's crazy, yeah. Right? So can you believe this past weekend we did have Easter Sunday, we had Resurrection, we had Good Friday. It was an incredible weekend. I don't know what you guys did, but I do pray that whatever you did, you were safe, that you enjoyed yourself, and just it was a very special time. I have a really good friend of mine who is actually also a part of what we do here, and she wasn't feeling the greatest, but I love that she went to the beach and she still took that opportunity to enjoy her time. So whatever you did, I hope it was lovely and that it was wonderful and that you had a wonderful time. Okay, so today being the 18th of April, it's also tax day. Now we know that really Friday was the day that taxes were due, which I think that was the 15th, 16th, yeah, the 18th. Now, I hope y'all were able to get an extension for those of you who did not file your taxes by today. But I wanted to share a fun little fact about taxes. Okay, so we all know you get a paycheck, you pay federal income tax. 43 of the 50 states, 43 of the 50 states charge their residents income tax. But did you know that there are 7 states that do not? Anybody want to move to one of those 7 states? Let me tell you what states they are. Alaska, Florida, all right, Miami, here we come, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, everything's bigger out there, Washington, and Wyoming. So those are the 7 states that do not require you to pay state income tax. Federal, yes, but not state. So that was just a fun little fact. I thought I would throw that out there. Okay, but what we have coming up, we have some wonderful things that are coming up. We normally talk about some of the holidays, but today we're just going to talk about some of the events that are coming up. First of all, this weekend is the event called Free to Love Again. And we did have Myra Lopez on here. She is a certified marriage and family therapist. And so she was on the show and she talked to us about just, getting rid of those toxic relationships and all this good stuff. But she also talked about an event that was happening April 21st through the 23rd. That's this weekend. So Free to Love Again, whether you need healing from broken relationships, whether you're engaged or maybe you're single or you're married. If you have a broken relationship, then this event is for you. So we want to be sure that you catch wind of that and that we want to remind you about that. And then the next one that we have is Backyard Revival. Now, we talked a little bit about it. We showed you guys a video with our junior high youth pastor and her team from The Rock. They're putting on a free event. You guys, get this. It's at the Angel Stadium. What? the Angel Stadium. So it's on April 30th at 6 p.m. It is a free event. It's on a Saturday. And if you can be there, if y'all are in the SoCal area, bring your youth, your junior high, your preteens, your high school, your college age. Even, okay, I'm 52. I always forget that I'm 52. I never remember how old I am. I never remember how old I am. Let's just say I'm 49. But if you feel like, yes, that's me, I'm young, and I want to go to this free event, I love the Angel Stadium, which I do, we're going to be there, and it's a free event. Bring your youth, bring your kids, bring your neighbors, okay? So just even if you take a little screenshot of what we just put on there, send it out to your friends, take a little screenshot, and then text it to people, email with your smartphone. There are ways that you can invite kids. It's going to be an incredible time, really revival. We need revival in the land, and why not starting it with our own backyard? So we're excited about that event. That's what's coming up. So now I'm going to take a little breather. Inhale, exhale. I know sometimes I go a little fast, but I'm excited. So those are two things coming up. The third thing coming up is actually not a thing, but it is a person. And we're super excited to bring her out tonight. She is our guest. She is amazing. So are you ready? Are you ready for our guest for tonight on A New Thing Live? Help me welcome the lovely, well, let me tell you a little bit about who she is before I just say help me welcome. Okay, this woman is feisty. She is creative. She's very thorough. She's so many things. She's faithful. She is a fighter. And she's so cute because she's like, well, I don't have like a business or an entrepreneur kind of a thing. Well, first of all, she does have an entrepreneurial spirit. Just don't even let that, what she said, get in the way. But I want to tell you, this woman is a fighter to the end, and she is not a quitter. And if you're going through anything, you want her in your corner. And so we're so excited about having her on the show because she is going through some changes as well. And she wanted to come on here and just to share about what that looked like for her as a single mama, leading her family, her household, her unit into this time and this season of change. So she's a good friend of me. We worked on some fun projects together, some that are still in the works, like literally as we speak. But I'm not gonna keep you waiting any longer. Would you please help me welcome my dear friend and a fighter to the core, Denise Torres.
Hi.
Hello. You want to scooch in? There we go. We gonna get up close. And I'm sorry because I have some coffee breath, girl.
No,
I mean,
we're good.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show. You're so sweet.
Oh,
You're so sweet.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been too long. It's, I think, before today, almost maybe 2 years.
Right when COVID started.
Right. Well, you didn't have braces.
Yeah, I got lower braces.
I love it. I'm jealous, girl. I need to get me some lower braces. Like, I got these little fangs coming out here. Maybe we can scooch this back a little bit, just a tinge. There we go. Camera. Get that little fun camera angle a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, so do I see something else in the shot? Oh, no, I think it's my Bible.
There we go.
Well, we don't want to get it out of the way, but... So how are things going for you?
Things are good. Mm-hmm. Things are good. So I know you had mentioned just, your show is about new things. Your show is about, just what is going on. And so you've titled it Single Mama and Changing Lanes. So I did want to come on. I did want to talk about just... I don't want to give my opinion because I think a lot of times people have a lot of opinions, but I just wanted to share my story.
I love it.
And so during COVID season, which it feels like a long time ago now, but I did start my own little business with Michelle, which was so much fun.
Michelle Poching. We've had her on the show before as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she kind of talked about that journey.
Yes, which was a lot of fun, a lot of great learning. And so I was up, I want to say, till 2 a.m., painting or doing whatever I was doing, and I would listen to podcasts, and it was, just whatever interested me. And I listened to, we're having some camera. We're just gonna, there we go. Wait, hold on. Wait, there it is. There it is. Just call it out.
Let's call it out, and then let's just do this. Let's just do this so she can,
there we go.
So she can see
lights
everything.
You're getting everything.
There we go.
We nailed it. We're doing really well. Okay.
I love you.
Okay. I love you. I love you too. We're all people, right?
Yeah.
We're all people.
We're like,
okay, we're good. We're good now. We're solid. Wait, I'm even gonna do this. I'm gonna fix my hair while we're at it. Okay.
Thank you. Gives me permission because these
great.
bangs, girl, I don't know what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm up painting, listening to a podcast, and so a book that inspired me. Jim Quick is the author. It's called Limitless. And so I was listening to a podcast, and he was being interviewed by Dr. Caroline Leaf. She is a neurologist, neuroscientist.
Okay.
So she studies the brain, and she explains it really well. If anyone ever wants to YouTube her, she explains the brain, what happens when you have emotion, what happens physically in your brain when you're going through things. And so with her and Jim Quick just going back and forth talking, it was 2:00 in the morning. By the time I was done listening to this podcast, something inside of me had kind of changed, clicked. And I just thought, wow, like if things were really limitless, like if we didn't put our own limits on ourselves, what are the things? I mean, you don't really live a life that seems limited. You seem like you do whatever you start shows, you do ministries, you do everything, Cyndi, but
not everything.
Okay, almost close to everything. I just think that like if I didn't limit myself as much as I do or have done, like what are some of the things that I could do? And I know like we work on She Is Single, She Is Strong, and my heart has always been for women, to help women, broken women. Yeah. And so I've always known there's like a greater calling on my life to do more, but I really just never knew what that was. And so after listening to this podcast, I just thought, gosh, like what is stopping me from going back to school and becoming a psychologist? What is stopping me? And so absolutely nothing. I used to think like, well, that's just what smart people do. But
I got chills right now when you said that. So good.
Yeah, like I'm not one of those smart. I used to think I'm not one of those smart people. So that's for other people. That's what other people do. I'm like in this category over here. And so when that kind of lifted off of me, and I didn't even intend it. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and I'm over here pondering my whole life. I just, everything inside me just changed. And so
wow.
I needed to make some huge changes in order to make that happen. And I did all those changes and, moving and switching careers. So I quit Disney. I quit a job of 21 years.
Wow.
And I went and I began working for my church, and I'm now an office manager at our private school at our church. And
wow.
It's just enabled me to be with my kids more. But it's been really, it's something where you move, when you're doing something that you're so used to, being so comfortable, and then you go to something new, it's great and all, but you miss the comfort. Like I missed it. And so it was just really hard to kind of make that transition. But once I did, I am just finding that it's just been a really great thing. And it's just been kind of neat to see all the differences and changes in what I'm capable of doing, and just my whole thought process on that. But it's just new. And when you've been doing something for 20 years and then you go from that to like completely switching everything, I'm learning how to do new things. I'm, booking buses for a field trip for kids for school now, and just, fundraising and, expanding the library at the school and just doing a bunch of different things. It's just been really, really neat because I'm able to see what am I capable of doing? What are those things that I thought I could never do, or maybe I'm not, I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I won't do those things. Yeah. But now I'm able to just kind of like go past that. So I highly recommend, for those of you who don't follow Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's on Instagram. She has a YouTube channel. Jim Quick, Instagram, YouTube, books. They both have books. So Clean Up Your Mental Mess, I believe, is her book, and then Limitless is his.
I like
book.
that title.
Yeah, it's
Girl,
really good.
That's just raw. Clean up your mental mess.
Yes.
We all got to clean up our mental mess. Every one of us. Yeah. Every one of us.
Yes. So it's really great. I really enjoyed just assessing myself and seeing like where am I at, and then being able to do that with my kids, and and then speak into the lives, I think, of some of one of my daughter's friends, or just be able to care for them in a better way, because once you take the limits off of yourself and you sort of go for it, you're then able to kind of help others along the way. And so it's just been,
It's good.
it's been a good journey.
That's a good quote right there. Yeah. We love quotes here on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. And my goodness, I mean, that's an entire change. You just upped and changed
My whole life.
Your lane just completely changed. You know,
Yeah.
they always say run in your own lane, but I love that. And it takes such courage, especially even if you were not a single mom, as a person, doing something like that, it's pretty extravagant and it takes courage. I love that you pushed yourself beyond those limits so that you realized that you did need to go back to school.
Yeah.
You know, and how is that? Because with students, also, a lot of students nowadays are younger and we're getting a little bit older. We're still young. You know, I just want to, bring it out because, what does that feel like? Because there might be some that's watching, they might be in their 60s or 70s and want to go back to school and be like, I just can't do it, or I feel too old, or talk to us about that because that's pretty huge.
Yeah, I just went to Cal Baptist University because they have the industrial organizational psychology program.
Woo-hoo!
That's like
you are smart.
one of the
That's a smart degree right there. Industrial
organizational
psychology.
It's the health of a business, the overall health of a business. And at the table, there was a mixture of us. I'm in my early 40s. There was just, 50s, 20s. There's a lot of different age ranges there. And, I had a good friend of mine. It was this Easter Sunday. I found out a year ago, Easter Sunday, that he had passed. And he was in his early 30s. And so with this whole limitless thing and just this kind of mindset, I just think a little differently now than I ever have, because I've never had somebody that close to me pass.
Yeah.
And so, if I only have another 5 years, then I want to do it. I want to go out helping people. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I've been equipped with and everything that I'm able to do and been gifted with, to be able to look into somebody else's life and say, Cyndi, you matter. Tell me what's going on. How can we get through this? You're not alone.
Yeah.
What are some of those things? And coming from, a broken place in my life and to be able to see that in others and be able to see that in my kids, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I am capable of doing. But you don't know what you're capable of until you actually go out and try to do those things.
It's true.
And I mean, even like the big things, like going in, going back to school and reading a book and having a test and really, am I really able to help these people? But even just the smaller things, like being alone, being single, and asking yourself those tough questions when you're sitting alone at night when, things get real and, oh my gosh, like, what did I just do? What did I just up and moved us 45 miles into a different house, into a different city, into a different area,
Wow.
doing different things, changing everything. Our Target's not our Target anymore, and our Ralph's isn't our Ralph's anymore. And, we do this now, we do that now. And so it's all encompassing, but it's well worth it, because the overall outcome in the end, I believe, is going to be just monumental. It's going to be, everything. I don't want to have wasted a single moment or a single thing.
It's good.
Looking back on all of this. So, but yes, going back into just, being in my 40s. I graduated with my bachelor's when I was in my late 30s. So total way late in life. But you know what? I tell my daughter, she's going to be a senior next year. You can go to a community college. You don't need to go to a 4-year college.
That's
you
right.
don't even know who you are.
That's
How
true.
are you supposed to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life?
It's true.
I think I'm a walking example of, I didn't know what I wanted until I knew what I was good at. And I didn't know what I was good at until my 30s. So if you don't know what you're good at, then just try it and then, figure it out, because then I didn't want to waste time and money on a degree where it wouldn't have helped or mattered. And
it's so good.
like, I think in your 40s you're able to be self-aware and identify who you are and discover that. And so I did that. And so I think it doesn't matter whatever age you discover who you are, that's when you go for it and you just don't hold back.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so important too. When I went through college, it took me 10 years to get my bachelor's, 3 to get my master's, but I was kind of fumbling around with who I was in those 10 years. And I did junior community college. I'm so thankful that I did. I still am paying off my student loan now, even because 2 degrees. And I want to get another, but I think that's so good. Sometimes people will they'll put themselves in school because it's what you're supposed to do, or it's what society says needs to be done. And then they do spend money investing in an education that they really don't want to use once they've graduated. And I think there's something very true about what you're saying with regard to that. So take your time, you guys. Like, wait. If you have kids or high schoolers or whatever, encourage them to know who they are and what they enjoy doing instead of just pushing them into school. One of my sisters right now is in school now, and she's in her 40s, and I love it. She's studying now in her 40s what she loves, which is animal science.
Oh, that's cool.
She's always loved being a vet and a vet assistant and all this, and now that's what she's like, she's slaying her grades or so well, she's doing so well. But I think it has a lot to do with that. She finally clicked, like, this is what I love doing. And so last week's, I don't want to go there. We'll just keep talking about this because, I can.
Well, I think like what you're saying to speak to that is that if this person had tried it 10 years ago, they would have maybe struggled through school. They would have not understood. And if you don't have your purpose, then the drive's not there to finish and finish solid and strong.
Yes.
So I think if there's like, if there's anything that I've learned, it's like a season for everything. And there was a season for rest during the pandemic. And we had to be okay with that. We had to be okay with like stopping the grind and just resting. And then there's a different season. So right now I'm in a season of, I'm researching schools because I want to make sure I get like the best school. If I'm going to spend all that money, what is that best school?
Yes.
And so, but at the same time, like just also to tell you, and the whole world apparently as well, I'm going to sit back. Can we sit back? Can we just relax a little bit?
Yeah. Do you, girl? Let me see. We're going to move this one more time. One more time. One more again.
The lighting. I'm messing with the lighting.
No, girl, you're good. We're
good. Okay. It's just that.
Is that good?
Like I just really. This is how we act all the time. And the camera's not on. Enjoy it. I'm just gonna put my legs up on the couch.
Do it, girl.
We're gonna have a good time.
Get comfy.
No, my director's telling me move this way, Denise. Okay. I would say that I talked to my kiddos about it, and I said, like, if I go back to school, it's going to be at night, and you have color guard, and there's so much going on. And so I just started praying about it, and I'm going to hold off a year of going back to school because I want to be there for my kids. And the season that they're in, they need their mama there all the time. Yeah. And I don't have to go back right now. And so if that's the case, I need to hold off for another season. Then
so good.
I would never regret ever like being there for all of those special moments. Like, we laugh so much. We get along so well. I'm so grateful for my kids. They're like,
they're so full of life.
They're so full of life. Yeah. We have so much fun all the time. We just really enjoy each other's company. And I'm just choosing that. That's my number one priority. And as long as I keep that as my number one, then I won't regret. I would never want to be in class and like wonder how they're doing, what's going on, did they finish their homework? I want to enjoy that. So I'm pretty sure me and my oldest daughter are going to go to college together.
I love that.
Super cute. So yeah, that's just kind of the season that we're in, is just, and I have to be okay with that. I've had to tell myself over and over again, like, it's okay, Denise. It's okay to be okay in the season that you're in. Yeah. And to be okay waiting for what you really want, and knowing that it will come in the right season when you can really enjoy it. Right. Because I love school. I love it. And I want to learn, and I want to like enjoy it. It's like being in a new relationship. You want to, when you fall in love, you want to like enjoy every moment. When you're doing something, you want to enjoy it. But if it's not the season and you're trying to, like, you can't make the season come when it's not supposed to. So
that's so good. Yeah. Wow, I love that. There's so many things that you've touched on that I think are so important, for viewers. And I'm not comfortable sitting this way, so I need to sit. You can be comfortable, and I need to be comfortable.
Have really done well this
Here
year.
we go. I'm going to sit up so I can be comfortable.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's not comfortable for me.
Okay.
I love that the idea of you and your daughter even going to school together. That's precious. I love that. And that you're okay with that. I think it's just, again, I just go back to some things that people fight. There's these mind expectations that people have placed on themselves of what they think they need to do because society has said you need to do this. So society would say, no, you don't go to college with your kids. Society would say that, and you're choosing the more important thing. You're choosing your kids over going back to school. And I think that there's just something so powerful in that. And hopefully, anybody watching, you'll never get those years back. You'll never get that time back. And so even as an aunt, and then I'm also like an adopted auntie for some, other, teenage kids and things like that. It's like I really do my best to be there for them because when they're older, they're gone. And then they get married and then they have kids, and it's like you will never get this time and this season back. So, remembering that to everything there is a season. And the season right now is for you to do that with your kids. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, my hope is that they would be better than I have ever been in my life, stronger, healthier, all of the things.
Yeah.
It's been a really good journey. And I think that it goes to show when my kids, my oldest is in color guard, and they won first place at a competition they had recently.
That. Yeah.
And she had a little solo where it's a heavy rifle that they throw, these color guard kids. And she chucked that thing, and it spun 9 times in the air. It spun so high, I couldn't even see where it went past the flags in the gym. It just disappeared. I thought it was going to hit the top, and then it came back, and she just caught it without even looking. She just catches that thing.
Wow.
And they won first place. And afterwards, she comes running down. And instead of hugging her friends, she came and hugged me. And her sister. And it just was like such a testament to me. I mean, of course, I would have been fine if she would have went and hugged her friends.
Of course.
Like, we're just so where we need to be. And I just am so grateful for what we have, because we work hard to protect it. We work hard to make sure it stays healthy all the time. And so it's a good season to be in when you're where you are supposed to be.
Yeah, I love that you worked hard to protect it. And so you making that decision to even put school on hold, that is one of the ways. Because somebody watching might say, well, how do I protect that? But that's an example of one of the ways that you protect that, right? Do you have, what would some other, maybe 2 other ways be that you work hard at protecting your relationship with your kids?
Just learning to say no to other things that don't matter.
That's good.
And discerning what does matter.
That's good, girl.
Because, there's so many things that don't matter, but, would matter. Like, it's like, to do this show, like, it's flattering. Hey, Denise, oh my gosh, there's this girl, her name is Denise. I'm going to have her on my show. And people just want to be in front of that camera, but knowing that, like, my girls are where they need to be today. Otherwise, I could have easily said, no, I'm sorry, I can't make it this day, or whatever those things are. I think sometimes, or, hey, I really need to go back to school because I need a better job. I need to earn better money. I want a better house for my girls as a single mom, one income. I have to make more money. And so you opt for the other things so much versus, there's so many happy poor people. There are so many happy people in a 1-bedroom living the best life, leaving this life with everything, filling you up with all my heart, all my love. Yeah. And being able to do that, I mean, just having the discernment to know that. And so I would say it's being able to say no to all the other things. That's and good. Being strict with that. No to overtime at work. No to whatever else, my friends wanting to hang out and go do other things. I mean, not always, but just in those moments when it matters. Right. And paying attention to the little things. Good. Paying attention to those little things, Is my daughter, is her chin up, or does she constantly walk with her chin down? And then if that's the case, where's the root to that? It's my job to find out. It doesn't just come out. So
you're talking to parents now. Let's step on some of them toes. Let's step on them parental toes.
Yeah. I tend to step on toes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking things that do need to be shared. And I think it's important. If you don't know the state of your children, then who's going to know that? Yeah. It's your responsibility.
Right.
And I think equally, just, even as you said, if she ever chin's down, then I need to bring it up, and why is it down?
Right. Or teach her how to put it up herself.
Yeah. I love that.
Just all the things that go along with it. And it's just, it's amazing because so I know that after this season, after we do some things that are on my little bucket list for me and my girls, then I go back to school, and then, it all will come.
Yes.
And so I think the biggest lesson I've learned is the patience to be in the season you're in, knowing that the next, spring will come.
That's it.
Summer will come. and it's going to be wonderful when it does. So I think it's going to be a solid foundation that we're building, so that then they know. Now, you go back to what you know, right?
Yep.
And so when they're mamas or when they're whatever they're doing, they're going to know.
Yeah.
They're going to know what's important. So
that's so good. I love that. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would want to share? I mean, you've already given us a lot of really good things, I think, to chew on, for people to reflect on. And I really do hope that you guys are taking, what she's sharing. And I always say, if you have a journal or something to write down, I know some of you do a direct message and say, I went back and watched it again. I was writing down some of those notes. Do that. This is one of those episodes where you want to do that. And then go back and then apply it. How can I apply that to my life? But is there anything else that you would want to share with our viewers?
I would say that for me, I used to live a lot of my life scared, making choices based off of fear, and then the fear, right? You want to control everything. I would say that, if I could go back to my former self and say, Denise, you can't control everything. It's requiring a little bit of faith. Then I think that, we could all be a little limitless. And so what would you do? Ask yourself, what would you do if you took some of the limits off yourself? What would you do? For me, it's, I got braces on the bottom because I was so tired of looking at pictures of myself or different things and having crooked bottom teeth. So I just took the limits off because I would always tell myself, I can't afford braces. You just do it. I just joined a spin class because I thought that's what other strong people do. Well, how do you get strong? So all of these things, I just kind of took the limits off and I started doing because if, we're not promised tomorrow, I just started living that way. And it's just amazing how much you can accomplish when you change your mindset to being so limitless. I would say take some of those limits off yourself because you'll be amazed at what you're capable of.
Wow. Girl, yes and amen.
Amen. You can do it.
You can do it. I can do it. I need to get off this episode and look for a dental. So I'm going to do my braces.
I cannot wait for these things to come off. Let me tell you that. I cannot wait. Yeah.
Well, I have an overbite and a little overbite. Two friends of mine, really one of my closest girlfriends for years. She's a dentist and her husband is as well. And the last time I was visiting them, we're having dinner, and they're saying, Cyndi, can you show me the side? Oh, yeah. Can you bite down for a second? They're like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's about they're giving numbers. She's about a 2 or
what's the worst. I did that at the gym. They're like, we're going to measure your body fat, Denise. Super.
Come on, have at it.
Yeah, but then, you know what? But then next month, I'm not going to have so much fat.
That's right.
Yes.
Let's do the assessments that need to be done.
Yeah.
It's like we don't like to step on the scale, but we need to step on the scale. Now, I'm not talking about being obsessed with it, but it's important to know where you are at.
It's just data.
Yeah, you need to know in order for you to improve or to get better, you have to know where you're at.
Yeah.
So you can't improve and work on improving yourself if you don't know. Right. Well, I don't know how much weight I need to lose because I don't know how much I weigh. And you keep wearing stretching pants, and then the stretching pants just keep growing with you, and you thinking you good, and you put on 30 pounds because you wearing stretching pants all the time, and you're not weighing yourself. I think that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Girl, I just so admire you. You're amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love how you're, raising your daughters, how you're parenting. You've fought through some stuff, and you've definitely come out, winning and on top. And it's not a thing about a competition, but just in terms of life, it's victorious what you've done,
Thank you.
And I know that walking through it, and there's still more, we always, we're pressed, but not, down and all of the, we're in our today's reading, I was like, oh, that's so good. What is it? Shaken, but not, destroyed. I can't remember. I'm totally, botching up.
You're doing really well.
Keep going.
Just keep going. We're not destroyed. We're not, we're not flattened and taken out.
That's
not,
right.
It's just, we have, restored peace, joy, living the best life.
Yeah.
I've so enjoyed today. I've so enjoyed seeing, you all can't see, but there's this lady named Sonia, and she just sits in the back all the time. She gets no credit, but she's amazing. Sonia, we love you. We love you very much.
Well, she does get credit sometimes.
You'll see her name go across, but just know she is the most beautiful beautiful, wonderful lady.
She is.
So beautiful.
She's faithful. She's diligent.
She's hiding her face right now.
She's humble. And she is a hardworking woman.
Yes.
And so I love her. Denise loves her.
Yes.
And we've done, and she loves her. Is that what you're doing? Oh, you're
blowing kisses.
Yeah, we take it. We receive it.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much for this. I mean, it's so good. And I really do hope that you guys are able to really take to heart what she has shared. And don't just let this be like, oh, yeah, that was great. No. Go back and watch it and write down. Some of y'all have the limits on, and it is time to take them off. In fact, that's the title of today's is Take the Limits Off. So it's time to take them off. And we were able to evaluate so many things during COVID, during the pandemic. That's why some of these things have launched, because they've just been things I had been sitting on for years. This show for over 20 years, sitting on it,
right,
doing nothing with it. You know, the children's book that I wrote in my inbox, 2009.
Wow. But see, this is the season, right?
Yes.
This is the season that it was all supposed to come to pass. And
Yeah.
just understanding and just making it happen. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so exciting to know, like, what is that next season?
Yes.
It's just really great. It's great to sit back and to see, like, as your friend, and to watch all of these things come to pass. It's just been really amazing.
Thank
because
you.
we all think about all the things we have to do in life. Who has time to write a children's book?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
who has, I don't have time to do that. So it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and the same to you. And again, I do remember seeing a video of the, what do they call them? Color guards? The color.
Oh yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be doing this.
You can do whatever you want. It's your show.
Your eyes got
Cindy.
you looked at me like her eyes
Rifles,
went like
she meant a rifle or
Rifle,
a flag,
yes.
or they have sabers, which is like a legit sword.
wow.
It's so heavy. I won't do it.
Okay.
But it's really amazing at what they can do. It's really amazing. Can I share one thing?
Yes, do.
Going back to this Limitless book, I'm just going to tell the quick synopsis of that, because I feel like
share.
it's so helped me.
Yes.
So Jim Quick, when he was younger, I don't know, like elementary school age, very young, they used to want to watch the fire trucks go by. So he went and got a chair, he put it against the window so he could stand up and see it.
Aw.
This other kid kicked it away. He fell, he hit his head on a radiator or something. He cracked his skull open. He damaged his brain severely. And so for the rest of his days at school, he had trouble learning, he had trouble functioning.
Wow.
His social life went down the drain. He would spend his weekends having to complete homework and assignments. He didn't have a life like all the other kids had lives.
Wow.
And so it wasn't until he actually got into college where he learned that you can literally teach your brain how to relearn something or how to learn.
Wow.
And so once he did that, I mean, everything sparked. He was able to, so he lived with the label, I have brain damage. This is what I'm capable of. This is how my life will be.
Wow.
And when all of that came off, he was able, I mean, there's nothing he can't do. And now he's, he's a celebrity. He writes books. He's a motivator. I mean, he can memorize like a room full of 100 people, every name. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's amazing. I love him so much. And so I thought, if that's the case, I mean, I'm going to go back for my doctorate. I mean, what is, there's nothing that anyone cannot do.
That's right.
Our brains are so powerful. They're so beautiful. They're so wonderful. If we could just use more of them, I think it's the limits we put on of what we believe we are capable of. When you take that off,
I love that.
you become so much greater. And so I'm sorry I shared that late in the game on the show, but
no, it's all
I wanted
good
to share as far as
it's good.
Just that like don't stop learning kind of thing. And there's so many great books out there and so many great things that a lot of times like when we're scrolling on Insta or whatever we're doing, it's I watch a bunch of stupid stuff. If I could just, kind of like tilt that over to the side, I mean, there's also things that I enjoy, like Simon Sinek and, all Crucial Conversations. There's a lot of great books out there. It's just amazing what we're able to absorb. And that just that self-talk of what we're able to tell ourselves, Denise, you can do this. Denise, you're capable. Denise, it's okay. Not right now. It's just not the season. Denise, have that patience. So I just want everybody out there to know that you can do it. That's all.
I love that. Can you tell us his name again? And we will have his book actually as this week's book of the week on our website.
His name is Jim Quick.
Jim Quick.
Kwik.
Okay. Kwik, Jim Quick. and it was limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah, so good. Oh, as you were saying something, I usually write stuff down, but I'm just so engaged that, and you're here. Normally it's like it's virtual and I'm like listening and I'm taking notes. So I can't remember what I was going to say, but this is what I was going to say. And I was going to say it earlier, and it's nothing that's profound, but it was just like, you know, when you see those body benders and all of the things that they bend their bodies and the contortionists and stuff, and I would go, oh, I didn't know that their bodies could do that. Well, my body could do that too if I trained it to be able to do that very thing. It's just that I have not taken the time to work those muscles out. And so my body is like, no, we can never do that. And you wouldn't want to see me as a contortionist anyway.
Who here would like to see that?
You would want to, yeah. However, but it's one of those things where you don't know what you're capable of doing unless you start working towards that very thing and doing that very thing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just re-emphasizing what you've said, but that's what came to mind was, or even runners, you know, when you see the Olympics and all of the athletes, you're just thinking, oh my gosh, how they run so, oh my God, how can they, you know, do that running jump like that? And it's like, well, you could do the running jump as well, but.
I mean, that's the first thing you think of, like, oh, I can't do that. And then you kind of just switch your gaze to something else. Oh, I can't do that. What are some, like, I'm sure we could all list 5 things that we've said that. What if you took that off? Yeah. And you began to do that. Once you become impressed with yourself, I mean, I feel like the blinders can come off. So if you just pick one thing, you know, if you just stretched every day so you can do the splits or whatever those things are. Okay, I think there should be a challenge here. I think that at some future show, we're going to have Cyndi come back on. She's going to bend.
Contortion.
She's going to throw a rifle or do something fun.
Oh my goodness.
It would just be amazing at what we're just capable of doing. Yeah, I just don't want to live a life of continuing to say I can't.
You know what, too, I think, and I know we're wrapping it up, but we do spend a lot of time doing things that are not important. You know, a lot of time. I mean, if you want to watch a movie, but if you want to watch a movie every day of the week, of the month, of the year, then you've just wasted, you know, say each movie is 2 hours and you're doing that times 7, 14 hours times 12 months. That's a lot of time that you could have been putting your hand to doing something you have always wanted to do, which is what this show is all about, doing that new thing. And people say, oh, I don't have time. But then they have time to binge watch, you know, a show, a TV show, and so, or whatever. So yes. Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. And there are things that we need to do that we can change. So, you know, do take a look at that book, Limitless by Jim Quick. And I pray that it does for you what it did for Denise. And were you listening to his podcast as well?
So he does have a podcast. I was listening to Dr. Caroline Leaf,
That's right.
Leaf.
Okay.
She was interviewing him.
Oh, okay.
And so the two of them together work very nicely because she easily explains what's going on, and he's able to explain, you know, they work they pair nicely together. So
I like that.
He's been interviewed multiple times. But if you want to also check out Dr. Caroline Leaf, she interviews a lot of really great people. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can do that. And we can actually I'll look for that podcast. Okay. And we'll put it on our website. So we'll have the podcast of that conversation of them having with each other. We'll have that on our website this week. And then we'll also have a link to his book so that you can take the limits off. It's time. It really is time. And you already know that it's time because you've been thinking about it. You've been sitting in it. You've been ruminating in it. And you haven't done a doggone thing about it, but it's time. Your season is now. Denise, thank you so much for coming, and just love you to pieces. You're an incredible woman, and we're all in your corner, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna doctor me up when you get yes. I'll be like, Denise, I need help. Can you organizationally, industrially,
yes,
psychologically help me?
Yes, always.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And we want to thank Denise for being on our show. And we want to thank you guys, too, for just coming, hanging out, watching. I pray that at least one thing that was shared tonight, maybe not everything, but if there's at least one thing that really just, then don't just dismiss it when this show ends. Go back to it, revisit it, and open it. Make, if you don't even have a journal, buy one, get a little composition book from Walmart, and let's just start doing the work. And it's time to take the limits off. So we love you guys. Hey, if you don't yet subscribe to us on YouTube, even if you're watching us on YouTube, do subscribe. Do a little search for A New Thing Live, or if you're watching us on Roku, or if you're watching us on Facebook, go over to YouTube, do a little search for A New Thing Live, and hit that subscribe button. If you have a prayer request or any needs or a question, or hey, you guys talked about this, I didn't quite catch it, because you don't want to go through the whole hour and a half or whatever, however long each episode would be, email us. Email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. And of course, we do want to take your prayer requests. We just want to let you know that you are not alone and we are in your corner. And then, of course, visiting our website at anewthing.live.com. But remember, there is a season to everything. There is a season. And so it's important to know the season that you're in. Take the time to love the ones that are right there, that you have that direct access responsibility for. If you have kids in your home, then it's your kids. And I just pray that much of what was shared tonight is something that you will take, and it'll walk you and carry you through this next season. But you are amazing, and be open to that new thing. Don't keep shutting it down. I know it takes courage. I know it can be scary, but you can do it. We have faith in you. We believe in you. Until next week, have an incredible week, and we'll see you next week on A New Thing Live. Bye-bye.